The battlefield is set. The stakes are high. The only thing standing between you and victory? Nothing. Ascend to the pinnacle of gaming greatness with Lenovo Legion. Laptops, towers, and the new award-winning Legion Go, the world's first officially licensed handheld, powered by Steam OS. Legion relentlessly pushes gaming technology forward, with towers built for raw, untamed power, laptops with best-in-class AI tuning that sharpen your reflexes, and the Legion Go, a handheld for serious gaming on the go. Stay ahead with lightning-fast responsiveness on a stunning 16-inch PureSight display. Keep your cool with cold front thermal technology engineered for marathon sessions. And with all-day battery life, the game never stops until you say so. So check out Lenovo.com/Legion. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
Where'd you get those shoes? Easy. They're from DSW. Because DSW has the exact right shoes for whatever you're into right now. You know, like the sneakers that make office hours feel like happy hour. The boots that turn grocery aisles into runways. And all the styles that show off the many sides of you, from daydreamer to multitasker and everything in between. Because you do it all in really great shoes. Find a shoe for every you at your DSW store or DSW.com.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Last time on Obscurum, Invasion of the Drones.
We track high-value aerospace targets. It's how to break down into the business world. But our main focus is to go after the UAPs that are within the news right now.
That big white one looks like it's coming closer. They are all over. There's another one right directly above me to my left.
The most plausible thing I heard was that it was somebody that was conducting experiments as far as figuring out whether these things could do perimeter surveillance for missile sites.
There's actually a report that one of these mysterious crafts landed.
Were there other drones there besides mine? Yeah, without a doubt. Can I tell you whose they were? No.
Do you think he's lying? Despite pushback from the FAA and helping me speak with Special Agent Michael Bumberger of the Law Enforcement Assistance Program, I figured out how to contact him directly. I never received a response. I worked other angles, and one of those was to look further into what Rod Miller and his group of backcountry drone hunters were still observing months after the initial sightings. I'd soon learn that some of their revelations were much more mysterious than the FAA's silence. Chapter 13, Into the Night. Rod became the go-to local everyone shared their unidentified aircraft experiences with. The social media group he was always active in, called Drone Intelligence Center, Colorado, Nebraska, Wyoming, and all other states, stayed the long-term hub for public conversation. However, what was being talked about in Rod's separate Drone Hunters Messenger chat remained a secret. I reconnected with Rod with the hope that after we'd catch up, he'd add me to the private thread.
I use a Geiger counter, which is, of course, when I start out is always 0. And then I also have an EMF meter. Of course, it doesn't show any lights at all because there's no electricity. I mean, there's nothing out there.
Rod's latest process for studying the craft involved using a Geiger counter to detect radiation and an EMF meter to signal electromagnetic fields, usually emitted from man-made sources, such as wiring. He frequented many areas to follow the objects, but his self-discovered ancient site in northeast Colorado continued to be a hotbed for activity.
I know one night there was 11 of the orbs that left the site. The EMF meter pegged itself, which is huge, and the Geiger counter was clicking off radiation too. So that's just two of the things I check. We don't know what, I don't know what else it throws off.
Rod sent me a couple videos of what he described. There wasn't a way to verify his exact location, when the clip was taken, or what might be just outside of the video frame.
I would notice that these orbs would flash lights at it's like they're communicated with each other with flashing lights. So it got to the point where when I was at my setup, that's what I would do, is I would flash lights in the same patterns that they are, and which would bring them in closer. And then I have tested different tones, and when I play the sounds, if it's an upbeat tempo, the orbs flash their lights in beat with the music. I have videos to show this. If I use a different tone that's a real peaceful, mellow tone, the orb, it will just turn a really pretty blue color. The whole thing will be blue. But if you use a bass tone, they turn red, they become violent. I mean, they'll come at you real hard. They act like a living being. I mean, they show curiosity. They just show different emotions, you can feel it. One time I was playing the mellow tone that turns them blue, and I had one come literally right up in front of me, and then it went back to the other orbs real quick, and then it came up by me, and it was there literally so close I felt like I could reach out. I could actually feel some kind of a weird energy coming off of it.
Rod spoke with a directness. The things he said didn't seem possible, but he pulled me into his world in a way where I found myself rooting for his story to be true. Was he just grasping for a way to connect it all, living an adventure he'd always dreamed of? Rod was obviously driven by his family's safety and lifelong obsession with geography and ancient cultures. But the truth was, outside of his battle with critics, Rod then shared that he was in a battle for something else: time. He'd been diagnosed with an aggressive type of brain cancer.
It wasn't long after that close call, that close experience, I've had like 5 heart attacks. It's a hereditary thing. And I plugged up again. And while I was in the hospital, and the brain tumor that I had was still there, or but to what degree or how much longer I had to live, because when they diagnosed me with the brain tumor, it was the type that there wasn't nothing that they could do about it. They wanted to treat the cancer, but I wouldn't let them because they basically said it was pretty hopeless. So I wanted to die peacefully and not in a hospital somewhere. Long story short, the tumor's gone, like missing totally, like wasn't even there. I have to either tie that to God healing me or the close encounter, with that blue being thing.
What would you say to skeptics? I
think humans in general, any of us, we're all fear-based. I mean, that's what a human being is. We're fear-based. Some people can, there's things that will push them past that. Maybe it's concern, maybe it's just, curiosity. There's certain things, but there's some people that just remain fear-based. And those people are the ones that usually, that fear base leads them to denial. Mm-hmm. And I've learned that like when I take a video, if it's a big orb, I reference the moon in the video. I do everything I can because I know that skeptics are going to be strong. I know that they're going to say, that's not an orb, that's the moon. So I reference the moon, and then I show the orb. And I try to make it as clear, undeniable proof as I can get.
Proof is a daunting word, which I was continually reminded of, especially relating to UAPs, UFOs, orbs, drones, or whistleblowers. I called the Kit Carson County Sheriff's Office to see if there were recent sightings near the general location Rod described to me. A representative for the Sheriff's Office stated that things seemed quiet. However, a farming family who lived nearby confirmed strange lights were still being seen.
My name is Tammy Fogg, and I've lived in the area for 67 years. I was born here, except when I went to college at KU Med.
At the center of Rod's inner circle was his sister Tammy. She's a registered nurse and RN administrator and chases drones with him.
Rod put me in this messenger group. Are you in that group too?
Yeah, it's called Drone Hunters. We got real careful on who we added to that group because we're just there to share information. We aren't necessarily in there for somebody to come in with big criticism. It's there you can express your ideas freely in pictures if you would like to. And if you needed help, if you were out drone watching somewhere, and you had a flat tire or you thought you needed help taking some pictures, you can put that on there, shoot your location, and somebody will be there in a little bit. So, because my brother will go look at some of those remote sites. If you had a flat tire out there or something spooky happened, you'd be way out there.
The Drone Hunter messenger chain, which I'd finally made it into, was a mix of shaky video posts, cell phone photos of blurry lights in the sky, and commentary on the sightings and other current events. There was a definite right-leaning slant to the conversations. Sometimes folks were grasping for conclusions. However, I could tell there was a common goal to seek answers instead of spreading unvalidated theories.
We've studied hard on, the Starlink systems. We have flight radar loaded in our phones so that we don't accidentally pick up an aircraft, and think that it's a drone. I mean, we're genuinely concerned about what's up there.
Rod kind of told me that he had a close encounter and he had been diagnosed with cancer and he said it wasn't looking good. Have you talked about that with him at all?
Yeah, sure, because he did have a tumor and it was getting progressively worse. He was like, okay, I'm not going to treat this. It just is what it is. He did have a heart attack, was shipped out to Greenlight. He has more than one stent in his heart. They put another stent in. And so I said, Rod, while you're there, he had that drone encounter that he was talking about at that time. I said, have them check. And do you know that was totally gone? So can I explain that medically? No, I cannot.
Hearing a nurse's take on Rod's diagnosis added a layer of authority to his mystifying story. Like Rod, I wanted to know if Tammy saw the unknown objects communicating with each other.
Have you experienced this before?
Truthfully, not so much. Because I usually get spooked and get the heck out of there. But at that ancient site up there, he can set up and they seem to be, they'll stay right there for a time that, he can try lights and sounds and that type of thing. But he goes there quite often. And there are a couple older farmers out there that say they've been seeing that stuff for a number of years.
Since Rod's observations were anything but normal, I'd been burning to ask Tammy how her drone hunting encounters compared to his. She began telling me about a night in early 2020, right after the objects first appeared in northwest Kansas.
So I was sitting out down in a draw in the middle of a field. Felt very confident with where I was at. I was in the car, had the windows down. And it was getting like 9:30, 20 till 10, maybe 10. And I thought, okay, I'm not going to see nothing tonight. I'm going on home. And just about that time, down over the top into that draw came 3 triangular, huge, about the size of a vehicle craft. But they did not look like anything I had ever seen from this planet. I flipped the lights on the car, and when I did that, it appeared to startle them because they started all these kind of flashing lights. And I looked my head out the window, went to take a picture, and the stuff out of the one closest to me started coming out that was like this fog stuff. I inhaled it. It was like I couldn't get my breath and burnt my eyes. I reached down, started the car, and took off in the car up over the top of the thing. They backed those things up and were started to come after me as I was coming down the road at a low, at a low level. Then I was headed back for town, and then they just zipped off. Yeah.
With you being a medical professional, did you think you needed to go to the ER and have that checked out, or did you feel okay?
Yes,
you did go to the ER.
I did not go to the ER, but I felt like I should have, because what in the blue blazes was I going to tell them happened? They would have thought I was nuttier than a loon. Do you know what I mean? I did not go. Did I feel like I should have? Yeah. Did I come into the house and take an albuterol breathing treatment? Yes, I did.
Creativity doesn't wait. It moves, shifts, evolves, just like you. And with the Yoga PC from Lenovo, your tools finally keep up. Stunning, smart, and sustainably sourced, Yoga PCs from Lenovo are designed to amplify your creativity with AI-powered performance. Whether you're sketching, editing, animating, or composing, Yoga moves with you, adapting to your creativity, to your rhythm. With beautiful displays and the flexibility to shift from laptop to tablet, Yoga unlocks new ways to inspire and create. Because at Lenovo, we believe your tools should fuel your flow, not hold you back. Yoga PCs from Lenovo support you at every step of your creative journey. So check out Lenovo.com/yoga and supercharge your creativity with yoga. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
Hi, this is Javon, your Blinds.com design consultant.
Oh, wow. A real person.
Yep. I'm here to help with everything from selecting the perfect window treatments to...
Well, I've got a complicated project.
No problem. We make the complex simple. I can even help schedule a professional measure and install.
I didn't realize you did that.
We can also send you samples fast and free.
Wow. I always thought I needed a designer to come to my home, but scheduling's always a nightmare.
Not with Blinds.com. We're on your schedule. And there's no haggling, pressure, or hidden fees either.
I just might have to do more.
Whatever you need. How about you tell me what you had in mind?
Okay, then. So the first room we're looking at is for guests coming over, and I'm thinking of something...
Blinds.com has covered over 25 million windows, all backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Shop Blinds.com now and save up to 45% on select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
ICON, the Interactive Innovation Conference, brings together leaders from every business sector to learn from the top minds in the $300 billion video game industry. Interactive entertainment technology is reshaping classrooms, reimagining healthcare, and revolutionizing how we connect. What connections will you make at ICON? April 27th to 30th, 2026 in Las Vegas. Learn more at icon.com. That's IICON.com.
Hey, it's Ryan Seacrest. Life comes at you fast, which is why it's important to find some time to relax. A little you time. Enter Chumba Casino. With no download required, you can jump on anytime, anywhere for the chance to redeem some serious prizes. So treat yourself with Chumba Casino and play over 100 online casino-style games, all for free. Go to ChumbaCasino.com to collect your free welcome bonus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Chapter 14. Warped. Over time, the disconnect between local and federal officials investigating the sightings only increased. If these objects were in fact breaking laws, the FAA or other agencies I wasn't even aware of couldn't enforce regulations. The general consensus seemed to be that we know there's something not normal flying around up there, but we don't know what to do about it. We're going to pretend it's not there. These factors open the door to conspiracy theories and outside interpretations of the mystery, including one prominent news outlet publishing that the encounters I and so many people experienced weren't real. This viewpoint was built on the idea of mass hysteria. Since I'd made a commitment to keep an open mind and look into every angle of this story, it was important to understand what, if any, facts fueled this perspective.
My name is Barry Markovsky. My position is Distinguished Professor Emeritus at University of South Carolina in sociology.
Barry Markovsky has a PhD from Stanford, and he's one of the nation's top experts on mass hysteria.
What is mass hysteria, and how does hysteria develop around a particular event?
So mass hysteria is it's a temporary phenomenon. It's spontaneous. It involves spreading false beliefs within some population or group. And those false beliefs typically lead to irrational thoughts and irrational behaviors, sometimes destructive behaviors. There could be physical manifestations. People could get sick, or psychosomatic manifestations. And it often develops around particular events when there's an awareness that other people are experiencing the same thing or holding the same beliefs or similar beliefs. That provides a kind of validation that further reinforces the effect. Putting this into context, I've watched a lot of UFO videos where you can hear the people who are taking the video of the UFO. You can hear them conversing on the audio track, and they and the people around them are literally negotiating the meaning of what they're seeing. To listen to them, you would think that this little light in the sky, which is often all that it is the most extraordinary thing they've ever seen. You're seeing in these, or hearing in these videos, this contagion effect, this amplification effect happening in real time. So again, it's showing how even more than the phenomenon itself up in the sky, people are being influenced in their beliefs by the other people around them. And they will often end up concluding that they have seen an extraterrestrial visiting Earth or something really extraordinary like that.
If someone saw what they thought was a drone in the sky and they spoke with a separate group who saw it and thought it was a plane, would that person's interpretation of what they saw change?
So you're more likely to change your belief if you find that a lot of people around you believe something that you don't. You're more likely to change your belief if the people who hold that alternative belief have some kind of authority or status in your eyes. And you're more likely to change your belief if they are socially close to you than if they're socially distant. Another interesting and related aspect of this is memory. Memory, it turns out, is a really malleable thing. And even when you've experienced something and feel that you understood what you saw, it's possible that the influence of other people, the reinterpretations that they provide you, cause you to think about what you experienced in a different way, and your memory of it can actually change as your brain is filling in gaps or substituting bits of information.
I agreed. Memories could get blurred. But those memories I documented were tied to strong emotions, and that was key for me. Regardless of the finer details of an encounter, people never forgot how the craft made them feel. There was no doubt in my mind that even though the sightings were fewer and farther between compared to when the craft first arrived in late 2019, many folks in the region continued to experience a strange phenomenon in the sky. This unsettling realization kept me thinking about a conversation I'd had with family friend and aviation expert Bill Bowerly.
Truthfully, yes, I still think it's government. Maybe they're training for future kinds of threats. This is how we find that threat. The technology is there. So if they're training, if this is a training squadron and they come out here to train, then okay, what are you training for? Some kind of threat. We're trying to stop maybe a backpack nuke from coming into the country. Well, it got into the country. Maybe a dirty bomb. Maybe this. How do we find it? Let's just go put 5 hours of fuel on this airplane and just go see where they land. It may be in the middle of a isolated pasture somewhere with just a couple of trucks. It could very well be on a fenced-off, remote, former ICBM silo that the military still has, because there's a lot of those that don't have anything in them now. So if the military was launching them, or somebody utilizing military facilities, there's a good way to hide yourself.
It was apparent that I needed to find out if there was any connection between nuclear missile sites and the unidentified aircraft. Coming up on Obscurum, Invasion of the Drones.
Do you know how many people used to live in here, like, at one time?
524/7 from Cheyenne's Effie Warren.
When the Air Force was asked, they said, oh, we don't know nothing. Okay. With all the missile sites, they would have known something.
A couple of them broke off and stopped over the police station. And our local FAA said, we don't know anything about that. We don't show any scheduled flights. We don't show anything on our radar. We don't show anything in the air.
If you have any information surrounding the events detailed in this podcast, or have your own similar account, please visit our website at obscurumseries.com and share your story. You'll also find exclusive behind-the-scenes content on the site. To connect with us on social media, you can follow at obscurum_series and at Gabe Lenners on all social platforms. Obscurum is produced by Imagine and Lenners Entertainment for iHeartMedia. This series is written, hosted, and produced by me, Gabe Lenners. It's executive produced by Ron Howard, Brian Grazer, Carl Welker, Nathan Clokey, Nikki Etour, and me. Additional production by Jacob Plew. Music and sound effects courtesy of Epidemic Sound. Brand management and digital design by Labyrinth Brand Co. Video editing by Alex Semikopenko. This project was mixed and mastered by Jacob Plew. Special thanks to Dan Bodansky, Josh Hiller, Keaton Stortz, Bryson Keyes, Ailey Birchfield, David Wasserman, Katrina Norvell, and my family. Obscurum Invasion of the Drones is available on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. Follow now.
Are you still quoting 30-year-old movies? Have you said cool beans in the past 90 days? Do you think Discover isn't widely accepted? If this sounds like you, you're stuck in the past. Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. And every time you make a purchase with your card, you automatically earn cash back. Welcome to the now. It pays to Discover. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard, based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Creativity doesn't wait. It moves, shifts, evolves, just like you. And with the Yoga PC from Lenovo, your tools finally keep up. Stunning, smart, and sustainably sourced, Yoga PCs from Lenovo are designed to amplify your creativity with AI-powered performance. Whether you're sketching, editing, animating, or composing, yoga moves with you, adapting to your creativity, to your rhythm. With beautiful displays and the flexibility to shift from laptop to tablet, yoga unlocks new ways to inspire and create. Because at Lenovo, we believe your tools should fuel your flow, not hold you back. Yoga PCs from Lenovo support you at every step of your creative journey. So check out lenovo.com/yoga and supercharge your creativity with yoga. Lenovo. Empowering creators everywhere.
Kroger brand products have the great taste you'll celebrate. That's why over 40 million people choose Kroger brand products, making them a true crowd pleaser. And with quality guaranteed, you'll love your choice or get your money back. Score Kroger brand products with savings you can cheer for and great taste you can't resist. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
CBS Monday, February 24th. Introducing the new daytime drama, Beyond the Gates. Welcome to Fairmont Crest Estates, where the wealthy and glamorous Dupree family rules the community with poise and sophistication. That is, until a cheating husband and his trophy wife start stirring up trouble. Find out what happens beyond these majestic gates and behind closed doors where scandal, romance, betrayal, passion, secrets, and revenge await. CBS Daytime is about to get soapier. The new daytime drama Beyond the Gates premieres CBS Monday, February 24th, and streaming on Paramount+.